hi Copper. Copper. So, yes, it's Sunday morning and we're just about to start in the kitchen. I've got a few things on the menu today. First of all, it's probably easy to see why I do it this way. So basically, stupid get a bit like it started a few years ago. I have two children, 12 and 16. And they used to be quite content. I work full time and don't get home to anywhere between 5 and 7 a.m. We had a dog who was wanting his bone. So I work 5 days a week, and it got to the point where the boys weren't really liking the food that my husband was able to prepare for them, which tended to come out of a tin. Meatballs, ravioli. So I found that I was spending my weekends, it was easy for me to spend a few hours on a Sunday meal prepping, batch cooking. Some of it could go in the freezer, some of it can go in the fridge and it's fine to eat still, but it was just easy to do that, and that way, well, for one, it's less expensive than buying convenience food. It means I know exactly what's going into their dinners, and I know what they like and what they don't like. So I started basically spending a few hours on a Sunday just getting it all done, and it means I have to be very organised. It means I have to think about what we're going to have for the week, go shopping for the week, but what's great is that it's done then. It's done, and I have one lot of cleaning, one lot of mess. So then when it comes to midweek, it's just a case of something going in the oven or something, having to just put in a pan or something. It all depends on what it is, but it's the majority of the preparation has been done, which makes it a lot easier. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through what my typical few hours on a Sunday looks like, and hopefully it might help give some inspiration, some ideas. If nothing else, it'll remind me exactly what I've had this week, and I can keep coming back to it. And when I'm doing my meal prep, which I tend to do on, say, a Thursday, in terms of my actual shopping list and decide what we're going to have, it might be a way for me to look back and go, oh, we had that the last 2 weeks, let's not have that again. So let's have a look at what we're doing this week. This is literally as fancy as it gets in our house. I don't have a fancy board, unfortunately, or I don't have it on my laptop or on a phone. It's just old school piece of paper. Oops, sorry, we have a dog just jumped into my knee. Do you want to see what happened? Yeah. So it's Sunday today. Sorry, I've got a dog trying to get himself comfortable. So today we're having stew and dumplings. That's going to be one of the first things I put on today because it's going in the slow cooker. Tomorrow, what I probably should say as well, occasionally we'll have separate meals to the boys, either because I just know they won't enjoy what we want to eat, or we tend to eat at separate times anyway. As mentioned, I don't get in from, it can be anywhere from, anywhere between 5 and 7 o'clock, so there's no way that they will last until 7 o'clock. So sometimes we eat separate times, sometimes we eat separate meals. Where possible, I do try and keep it to a minimum, because otherwise I've just ended up spending literally my whole weekend cooking. So anyway, Monday is one of those examples of where we're going to have something different. So they're going to have a chicken and bacon pie, and we're having a stir fry. Tuesday we're all having chicken and chorizo enchiladas. Wednesday we're having a creamy red curry, and Thursday we're having chili meatballs. Yes. Okay, so here's where we're up to at the moment. So I've just basically got changed into clothes that I don't really care about, something dark, because I end up being usually really, really stinky and usually covered in some kind of stain. So the first thing I've done, as I mentioned, is I've put the stew on. Well, I'm just browning it off now. I will just turn you around. The mince and the onions, I always do this. I don't really know if it makes a difference, to be honest, but I always do this. I've already got in my slow cooker, you'll have to excuse the foil, I do need a new slow cooker, because the kind of the lining starts to come away a little bit inside, so I just feel better covering it with foil. So as you can see, I've got the potatoes, carrots, grated onions in there, browning off my mince and my onions. I add the peas and the dumplings about half an hour from the end, so that's what I'm putting it on now. However, what I'm also doing, because I've got the mince out, I've also started to prep the chili meatball kebabs. So basically they are just lean mince, onions, which I'm going to just mix up now, and I'll show you how I do those quite fine so that they stay together with the meatballs. And you can't see it in there, but we've basically just got some fajita seasoning in there. So I'll show you how these are done. Okay, so I use this little gadget to chop my onions up. It's literally just a flavour thing. You just chop your onion a little bit. Like this. And then it dices them quite finely. You can see there. It's really good, like I said, if you either want to hide onions in a dish, or if you just want them really fine. I'm just going to use the spoon, it's only been used for the gravy granules. So just mix everything together now. Like I said, there's fajita seasoning in here, minced meat, and then I just mince it all together, and obviously the onions. For now, this is the only prep I have to do for this dish. What we will do on the night is fry them off in a pan with some fry light, and then a few minutes before they're done, then add some sweet chilli sauce, and that's them done. So I'm going to make these into meatballs. Just a little update on where we are up to. We've got the stew in the slow cooker. I don't know whether I mentioned, I do have also a chicken in the oven. That's just going to be mainly for the dog. That's a whole other story. So my chili meatballs are done. So because we won't be eating these before the best before date, the use by date, I've put them in this bag and I'm going to put them in the freezer, and then what I'll do is I'll just take them out the night before and defrost them for that day, and this bag can be reused as long as it's had a good wash. And because I've written on it, I know that I'll just use this for if I need to use raw meat again rather than using it for cooked food, just to be careful. So where I'm up to at the moment, because I've got the oven on, I always like to try and do as much as I can. Anything that needs putting in the oven, basically, I like to get that done at the same time, so I'm not having to keep turning it on and off and waste gas and electricity. So I'm in the process at the moment of cutting up some butternut squash. I love having roasted butternut squash in the fridge. I like to just pick on it, snack on it. But I'm also going to spiralise some of this because I'm not a huge fan of noodles, and we've got stir fry on the menu for Monday. I would much rather have butternut squash noodles, so I'm just going to spiralise some of this. But then, that's my oven. I don't know what's happened there, but I thought it might be useful. I don't know whether this is helpful, but I thought it'd be useful to show you how I peel and get the most out of my butternut squash, because it has taken a long time to try and we'll figure out how to get the least waste out of it. So I'll just pop that on. Okay, so I find using an actual peeler is the best way. So basically, this is another reason why I wear dark clothes when I'm cooking on a Sunday, because otherwise I'd end up wearing a nice wet top. So I basically just peel the skin off. You can actually eat the skin. I'm not a fan, if I'm honest. So I just peel around the skin as such, and then I chop that end, you can see it there, just move those over here, and then chop there. Now I'm going to spiralise this one, so I'll just show you how I then cut this one up for when I'm doing just roasted butternut squash. Not chips, it's more like small potatoes basically. Just chop and chop and chop, and again. I have to be really careful with this knife. I did chop my finger off with it a few weeks ago almost. And then I go around the edge of the bit where all the seeds are and try and get as much. These aren't great ones, to be honest. It's the time of year. And then that's literally basically have that left over. Now what I will do, I'll show you this. This is how I'm going to spiralise. So I literally have no waste whatsoever. I'm not sure if you can see this, hard to tell, but anyway, you'll get the idea. So, this tart on. Buying buying things like this already prepared, just a lot more costly. So if you can do it yourself, anyway. And then what I'll do, you always end up with a little nubble there, so that just goes in that pile there to be roasted. And again, just do another one to show you. Just go a little bit crazy sometimes, but anyway, you get the idea. You just need to take it out. Sometimes you just need to scrape that bit out there. But then what I'm doing today, what I'll do then is put them on a roasting tin, spray them with fry light. Today I'm trying this new seasoning that I bought, this salt and chili pepper seasoning for the roasted ones. Obviously these then will just go in a bag ready for Monday for when I'm doing my stir fry. Well, I just put a coffee in. I'll show you actually. I do make a big pot of coffee first thing. I probably should have said in the fry light. And I've just warmed one up because it gets to that point now where I'm starting to flag a little bit. So we've got the creamy red curry is on the go. So that's pretty much almost done. What I just need to add to that now, I will show you it all when it's all finished, but it's a mixture of stock, fish sauce, lime juice and sweetener, and then just as it's almost done, you put some creme fraiche in at the end. So that's nearly done. So I'm just going to start prepping for the chicken and chorizo enchiladas now. Oh, and the chicken, whole roast chicken is now out of the oven as well, so I'm just waiting for that to cool. And then I can start putting all that in the various bags, like say I take away the legs and the wings and things for the dog, and then if there's anything that we can salvage for the humans, then that's what we do. So, right, coffee. Okay, then I'm turning the extractor because I've got a feeling it's going to be really, really loud. So just while I tell you where I'm up to, so cream red's still on. I've started to do prep for the enchiladas, but I need this pan basically. So what I thought I'd do is get my filling for the pie started. So this is, I am not a very good baker. I can't do pastry, I don't do cakes, I don't do anything like that. I'm really not great, but the boys seem to love this pie. I don't think they care that it's not very pretty or that I've bought the pastry from the shop. So basically the filling, what you can see up to there, up to now in there, it's chicken stock, Philadelphia light, and then what I'm going to add to that now, which I'll show you as I'm doing it, I use two types of cheeses. So I use the light mature cheddar from Aldi, and then I also use the normal mature, the orange one, basically just because they love it, they absolutely love it. And then I'll just keep adding as I go, so I'll stir, I'll wait for it to all start to thicken up, but basically you just want it to be a really nice thick consistency and tasty obviously. And then once it's done, then I will add in some chicken and bacon, which I've already got diced here. So this is the last dish now in terms of what I need to cook. It's just assembling this now. So this is the filling for the chicken and chorizo enchiladas. It's so simple. It's just literally chicken, chorizo, peppers, onions, sweet corn, garlic, and I just put in whatever I fancy at the time. So today we've got paprika in there, we've got the fajita seasoning in there. I think that was it. So I'm going to assemble them, so I just have to put you down while I assemble them, but just so I'll talk you through now what I do. I just have the wraps here. I like this, so this is basically what I've used in the enchilada filling, but I also like to use this on the top. I actually do prefer, this is from Aldi, I do prefer the garlic one with the pink label, but they've not had this in for ages. So what I've done is basically just seasoned it myself with garlic powder, a little bit of sweetener just to sweeten it up, and then I'm going to fill the tortillas, then top it with my passata mix and then with cheese, and then I won't cook it, I won't bake it in the oven until we're ready to eat it. When we come to eat it, I will cover it in foil on about 180 for 20 minutes so that the filling gets nice and hot, and then I will take the foil off and bake it again for about another 20 minutes, and that'll just make sure that the cheese is all nice and bubbly and lovely. Right, I'm going to assemble these now. And we're done for now anyway. I'll quickly turn you around and I'll show you everything that I've prepped today or cooked today. So just bear with me. Just so you can see it, but I'll get it all put away soon. So you've got the creamy red curry here. It is absolutely delicious actually. It doesn't probably look as nice as it tastes. It's almost like a Thai red curry. It's got green beans in it, tomatoes, mushrooms, well, you saw it when it's cooking. So that's that. That is literally just going to sit in the fridge now until we use it and it'll just get dished up. I'll probably have mine with the butternut squash chips, which are here. The boys will probably have theirs with rice, naans, etc. I'll probably have a little naan with it actually as well, to be honest. So butternut squash chips, like I said, I do nibble on these, or I do tend to have more, but because I've spiralised some of the butternut squash, I've not got as much to use for, I didn't have as many to use for chips, so that'll keep me going anyway. So here are the enchiladas. I've quickly taken the chili meatballs out of the freezer. But as I mentioned, these will stay in the freezer until the night before and I'll take them out. We have these in pita breads with salad. I do some minted onions. If I get a chance, I'll show you what it looks like when it's all assembled. We have the chicken and bacon pie ready to go in, and as I said, I am no chef in terms of pastry or baking. Well, I'm no chef anyway, full stop, but I really am not very good at baking. But the boys love this pie. They don't care what it looks like. They don't care if it's a little bit deflated in the middle or not quite looking beautiful. They just like it. And then we've got the chicken that I've taken off the chicken that I was roasting earlier. So you've got quite a lot of brown meat there, which the dog absolutely loves. And then this meat here as well. And I think that's everything. That's me done now for the cooking side of things. I've now just got to try and get all this cleaned away. To be honest, I was kind of trying, I do try and clean as I go with most things. Obviously we've got our, where is it? There we go. We've got the stew in the slow cooker for later as well. Like I said, what I'll do is I'll just add some dumplings and some frozen peas to about half an hour before we're due to serve it, and that will be done. So I do try and clean as I say, but it is still a mess. So I'm now going to get on with the worst part of doing the food prep. But like I said, at least it's done then. At least I'm not having to do this every evening when I come in from work. Get everything out, clean it all away. At least then it's only just wiping and like I said, putting things in an oven, or have you, at least the majority of stuff's done. So I'm gonna crack on with this.